Hello everyone and welcome to another VASaviation video. Today we have another meeting and we're gonna meet a member of a big aviation company, as JustPlanes says. His name is Michel and he's a member of the JustPlanes company. I'm sure all of you guys know what JustPlanes is and what they do. For those who don't, we have Michel on the phone who will tell us how JustPlanes works and what they do. We have Michel on the phone. Hello Michel.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Victor.
Welcome to VASaviation at first, and thank you very much for taking this time and share it with us.
You're very welcome.
I'm so glad to be hanging out with you.
Same.
Well, you're a member of JustPlanes.com website or kind of a aviation company. What is JustPlanes exactly? Tell us something.
So I founded Just Planes in 1991, so 25 years ago this year. And basically, at the beginning, started filming airports, airplanes at airports, basically. And
Yeah,
that's how I basically came up with the name Just Planes. Very simple. And the first couple of years, I just did airport videos, and that slowly started growing, and it grew very well. And then I'd say in about 1993, we filmed our first cockpit video, and that's really the most popular series that we've done, the Flight in the Cockpit series. And now, 25 years later, we filmed about 270 airlines, and it's really something very popular.
yeah.
More popular than the airports, because I guess everybody can go to an airport and watch airplanes, but being in the cockpit these days is really difficult. So
Yeah,
that's why.
being a copy is like the sign of JustPlanes. Everybody, including me, of course, go to JustPlanes for cockpits and the stuff. It's really good. So many people don't know them. JustPlanes was found in 1991.
Yes, that's when I started. I basically picked up a camera and started filming airplanes.
Yeah,
Didn't really have a plan. But one thing led to another, and I didn't know if it would be popular, if people would be interested, but they were.
hmm.
And so then I created a company, and I started adding different things, adding people. People joined. In the first couple of years, I did the filming myself, but then as it became, a lot of work, I had to hire some other people to do the filming. And I'd say that since 1995, I haven't done any filming myself. Uh, we had a team of about 10 people for the first 10 years. And then now, more recently, we only have about 3 or 4 people who film full time. And then occasionally we'll use like a freelance photographer somewhere in the world when we need to.
That's great. Yeah, yeah, that's something I have because JustPlanes is nowadays one of the biggest, if not the biggest, aviation companies about filming and recording. I'm sure this needs many hours of work and many people behind working together. Do you know how many people you are right now?
Right now, we have about 10 people between the people who do the filming, the people who work in post production in the
Edition, yeah.
studios, and the people that run the production.
Yep.
And then also, we just closed our warehouse. We used to have a warehouse not far from our studio where we sold and shipped all the DVDs and the Blu-rays. But as we've been switching to downloads in the last couple of years, in January we closed uh, the warehouse that we ran for 20 years, and that also employed some people. But that's finished at this time.
Okay, yeah, awesome. I've watched almost all, if not all, of your documentaries. I also have some of films, and there are some in which you use more than one or even two cameras or more. Do you know what's the biggest number of cameras you've had recording at the very same time in a documentary?
Eight. We
Eight. Wow.
we plan. We have about 25, 30 cameras in stock, and every time we plan the filming, depending on where we're going, depending on what kind of airplane
Yeah.
we're filming, depending on the airline, depending on what we get approved, we'll pick which cameras will do the best work. And the most we've had was 7 in the cockpit and 1 on the ground at the same time. So you capture 8 different angles. And as I said, depending on the type of airplane, you know where you can install them in the cockpit, which camera will do the best
Yeah,
work, get the best angle, get the best view, and so that's how we pick them.
awesome. Yeah, for those, I was gonna ask for those fanatics of video recording or photography, what gear do you use if you want to say some brands of cameras or something? Yeah.
I'm not personally involved in the cameras because they're not stocked here. They're mostly in Europe.
Mhm.
But there's always one main camera, and that's always been a Sony camera. And it's supplemented with smaller Sony cameras, a number of GoPro cameras, and we also still use one or two of the Contour. I guess it's not as popular as the GoPro, but the angle it captures sometimes does the job for us that the GoPro does not do. But I
Yeah,
would say most of the additional cameras that we have in the cockpit will be GoPros.
I agree. Okay. For those subscribers who may be wondering, how could we join the JustPlanes team in case we could? So, do we need to be a professional in the aviation field or audiovisuals or to be a journalist or something?
Okay, well, the full time team of Just Planes is complete. However, we always look for freelance photographers around the world that can film an airport for us. Let's say we're looking for somebody in Hong Kong who is a photographer. If he's or she is interested, we're always interested. What we look for is first of all somebody who has really good videography abilities.
Yeah.
You need to know how to use a camera. You need to be able to film very steady. You know, it needs to be a steady filming, and then you also need basic or I'd say good knowledge of aviation because you need to know what you're filming, what you're looking for, what's interesting. So it's a mix of having good video abilities where you're able to come up with some artistic skills as far as how to capture a nice angle, a nice view, and be very steady. That's the important part as far as the video side of it. As far as the aviation side of it, well, I guess you need to know, the airlines and the airplanes and things like that. But I would guess that most people that are on here have that. And if anybody on here is interested, you can go to our website. There is a little section called jobs right on the front page at Just Planes. It explains what we're looking for, and you can just email us some samples of your work, and then we can talk about the possibility of working together.
Yeah, we have now the website on the screen, so everybody interested and with a good, pretty good quality of videos and photographs, just go here on the website. And let's finish with. Could you tell us some fun experiences or anecdotes you've had while recording a documentary?
Yeah, it's difficult. I'm trying to come up with some things that happened that are funny, and at this point, I can't come up with anything in my head. However, stuff always happens.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not that funny, but on just about every shoot we go out on, there's always something that happens. It's you have to be able to plan, to change your plans, to come up with solutions and things like that. And most importantly, we're very thankful for all of the pilots who agree to do this, who give up their time, who try to do a great job for everybody who watches these videos as far as explaining their work, their job, the airplane, the flight, and everything. But funny stories, no, some pilots are funny and they'll come up with some jokes, and we've even had actually some pilots who sang a song. So yeah, that I would say, maybe that's funny. We've had a couple of pilots sing a song and things like that. Um, yeah, we've had a couple of pilots hit their head when they were doing a walk around, but of course we don't want to show that on video.
yeah,
But
that was funny.
it's really been great. I mean, it's been 25 years of I don't really consider it a job. I consider it, a fun and a privilege to do this.
Yeah, well, it's not a job, but it's really near as a job. You're now I'm seeing almost 300,000 subscribers on YouTube,
Yeah,
and
YouTube is going
that's not silly
really crazy.
thing.
No, no. You social media in general is being really good to us. Mostly YouTube and
Yep.
Instagram. It's people. I think people appreciate the videos that we post mostly because they're different from most of the other stuff you see on YouTube and Instagram.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Michelle, thank you very much for spending this time with the VASaviation family. It's been a total pleasure.
Same here, Victor. It's been my
Thank you.
pleasure, and call anytime.
Thank you. And well, for all the subscribers that didn't know about JustPlanes, just go ahead and click the link on the description below and go check them out. I will leave the website, the YouTube channel, and everything. They do a really amazing job for the aviation community. If you liked the video, don't forget it a huge like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. And as always, thank you very much for your comments and your kind words. And also, if you want to participate in these kind of meetings or conversations with me, just leave a comment or contact me via the email that you can find on the description. And as always, thank you very much and see you guys on the next video.